Welcome to Big B Daily. No frauds allowed.
What's happening, people? What is going on? Thank you guys for showing up and coming in. The Big B Daily Show today, Monday through Friday, live on TikTok, live on YouTube. What's going on, people? What is going on? We've been on live on TikTok. People are crazy over there. I got people saying Brock Purdy is a top 5 quarterback. It's nuts. Let's talk about it. The 49ers are back, man. They had that 3-game skid, but the 49ers are back. The 49ers are back. They own that division. The Seahawks are just a shell of themselves. The 49ers put the screws to them. They own the West, and they might be back to being the best team in the NFC. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. It still holds true that a little game pressure on Brock Purdy, and he folds like a cheap accordion. But you know what? If the team that he has around him doesn't allow for that game pressure to happen, good for them. Good for them. So, if they don't allow for that game pressure, then, hey, he doesn't have to play in it. He doesn't have to play in it. So 49ers are looking good again. They got some pieces back. Trent Williams, Debo. They got these guys back. They're playing well. Defense looks good again. So I like the 49ers. The Seahawks, on the other hand, man, Geno Smith, it's basically Geno Smith. He's back to playing the backup for 10-year Geno. That if he could play like he played the first 3 quarters of last year, that Geno Smith would be good. That the Seahawks would be good. Geno is not playing well. He's playing average at best. Can't beat good teams playing that way. They had no shot yet. The 49ers are just that much better than everybody in that division. And if the Seahawks don't watch themselves, they're going to miss out on the playoffs. They're going to miss out altogether. So they better watch themselves. So let's move on. The Dallas Cowboys. Let's talk about the Cowboys. Cowboys look good. Bland did it again. Yeah, my man Golf Hawk said he did it again. 5 pick sixes in a season is insane. That's insane. So I've never seen anything like that. But the Cowboys look good. Here's the thing, though. They look good, but it still hasn't been against a team that was that good. We got to see it. And we saw them play against the Eagles, and they played well against the Eagles. They gave that game away to Philadelphia. If we're all being honest, they gave that game away. But they still lost. It doesn't matter whether you give it away or somebody takes it away. They lost. So I still got to see the Cowboys do it against a good team. I got to see it. And the 49ers might be their kryptonite because they just don't seem to be. They beat them the last 2 years in the playoffs. They beat the brakes off of them this year. So we'll see. Cowboys look like a totally different team from then, but who knows? They look better after the bye. They look like a totally different team after the bye week. So we'll see how the Cowboys move forward. But yesterday was good. Dak is playing great football. You can't deny that. Dak Prescott is playing outstanding, say always. He doesn't show up in the playoffs. He doesn't. That's been his Achilles heel. Same with Lamar Jackson. But right now, this very second, Dak Prescott is playing outstanding football. And if you can't admit that, then you're not an objective observer. And that's fine. You don't have to be. That's for some of us to be. I get it. So, but I like the Cowboys, what they're doing right now. And the Eagles, they know that. And I think real Eagles fans know that the Cowboys are right there. Eagles got a tough stretch here. They got a tough stretch. So they got to keep winning because I think the Cowboys are going to keep winning. So let's see here. My man Golf Hawk says Cowboys, Lions, and Dolphins are suspect at best. I don't believe that. But moving on, I do believe that the Lions are. The Lions, here's what I'll say. I don't care what happens the rest of the week. Y'all know what we do on Tuesdays on the Big B Daily Show. Fraud of the week. The Lions are the fraud of the week. I don't care what else happens. I literally don't. The Lions are going to be the fraud of the week. Yesterday, that was pathetic. Jared Goff, 3 fumbles. What are we doing? The Jets are not frauds because the Jets are not good. And nobody thinks the Jets are good. You got to be considered good to be a fraud. I mean, this is horrible. This is horrible. The Lions are turning back into the team that they were the first 8 games of last year. That's what's happening, TikTok. Y'all know it. That defense is turning into Swiss cheese. YouTube, you know it. Jared Goff, turning back into a turnover machine. The freaking Lions are starting to turn back into that team that they were at the beginning of last year. And I'll be the first to say it. They're going to win their division because their division stinks. They're not winning a playoff game. That ain't happening. And I know the NFC is bad, but if they have to play the Cowboys, do you think the Lions are beating the Cowboys? No. Not happening. It's not happening. So they better hope that they don't have to play the Cowboys. But the way things are going, they're going to keep losing. They're going to end up in that 4 seed. They better pray that they get that 3rd seed and keep on winning. But they probably will because the Saints or the Falcons, somebody's going to win that division. They're going to have a losing record. And I don't think the Lions are going to end up with a losing record. But the Lions, boy, man, that was ugly. That was just, they should be ashamed of themselves. But we'll see. We'll see if they can get it back together, man. We will see if they can get it back together. I'm not sure they can, but we'll see. Are you all paying attention at all to this Dolphins-Jets game? The Jets are pathetic. The Jets are just pathetic. Let me look here. 43. They have 66 yards of total offense, and it's the 4th quarter. 66 yards of offense. They have 23 rushing yards and 43 passing yards, and it's the 4th quarter. I just, they should be ashamed of themselves. But you know what? This is what they get. I'm glad it's happening. What's up, man? They had an opportunity to find a competent quarterback, and they bet on Zach Wilson, who they already knew could not play. They knew that he was terrible. But instead, this is what you do. And now you're paying the price for it. Now you're paying the price. Let's go to Big B Bets, man. Let's go to the Q&A section. So we're going to pick some games today. We're going to pick the rest of this NFL and the college schedule. Let's go college first. Now, I didn't do point spread on college because it is rivalry week, and I'm not going to get caught with my pants down in rivalry week. I'm just not going to do that. So let's pick some games. Y'all follow along. Let me know. You don't have to tell me which games you want to hear. I'll spit out the game, and then we'll go from there. So first one, tonight, Texas Tech at Texas. I think Texas gets it back together and blows them out. I don't think that one's going to be close. I do think the Oregon State-Oregon game is going to be close. I do think that. I think Oregon's going to win, but I think that game is going to be closer than what people believe. LSU against Texas A&M. A&M, they're partying, aren't they? The kids are partying, being done with Jimbo Fisher, who rode off into the sunset with $76 million. But LSU should win that game. Handily. Louisville against Kentucky. I got Louisville. It'll be close. It'll be within one score, but they will win. 4 years in a row getting smacked around by your rivals should be enough for Louisville. Should be enough for them to win the game. What else we got? Iowa State, Kansas State. Kansas State's going to win that game. It'll be a late score that puts them over the edge. They should win by 11, 12. They'll cover the spread. It's 10. So they'll get a late score to beat that spread. Alabama is going to destroy Auburn. The starters will be down middle of the third quarter. They'll be done playing. Auburn stinks. Alabama's got something to prove. Alabama's trying to get in the playoff. And they're tuning up for Georgia next week by just stomping a mud hole in Auburn. That's what's going to happen. So, Ohio State, Michigan. The big one. I think Michigan wins. I just believe Michigan is going to be the more physical team, and they are going to run over Ohio State. Am I wrong? And y'all can tell me if I'm wrong. I don't mind y'all telling me that I'm wrong. I just believe that Michigan is the more physical football team, and they are going to put it on Ohio State again. I just believe it. They're just going to line up. Now, they're going to have to throw the ball. It's not going to be a game where against Penn State in the second half where they just don't throw the football. They're going to have to throw it. J.J. McCarthy's going to have to actually play in this game. But I believe he will. And I know Ohio State's got a good defense. That's why I'm saying J.J. McCarthy's going to have to play. I'm not a believer in the secondary of Ohio State. I just think Michigan is better. I think Michigan's better. I think he's better. They're a better team. Washington will beat Washington State, and Florida State is going to smack around Florida. So that's my predictions. College football. What do we got over here? My man, Pierre Land on YouTube says they don't have an answer for Blake Corum, but JJ is going to have to make some plays for once. Yes. For Corum or Edwards. Edwards is good too. He's a good back too. Going to have to make some plays, man. My man on TikTok, what do you think we should do about Jaylen Warren? We're talking college right this second, my man. Give it a second. The right tackle doesn't keep. Let's see. Michigan had to run the ball so much because the right tackle kept getting beat. Well, they did. They ran it, and it worked. I mean, You can devise ways to help your right tackle if he's getting beat. You can help your right tackle. That's all I'm saying. Florida's not going to beat Florida State. They're not going to beat Florida State. And let me ask you all this question. I know, and this is going to be, I want to stir, you know me, I love stirring up controversy. The Pac-12 is the best football conference in the country this year. Any sane person that watches college football understands that. And if you're not going to tell me that there's not an SEC bias, tell me how the hell Tennessee is still ranked. Any SEC defender that's out there, just anybody that's out there that defends the SEC, tell me how Tennessee is ranked. Just explain it. I want to hear it. But when you do, just know that me and most sane college football fans in here are going to eat your ass alive for saying that nonsense. I just don't understand it. I just don't understand how Tennessee can be ranked. It's insane to me. But people say, oh, there's no SEC bias. Come on, man. Come on, man. There ain't no way in the world Tennessee should be ranked. Oregon State dropped 5 points, losing exactly. Oregon State lost by 2 points to Washington, and they dropped 5 spots. 5 to Washington. That's who they lost to, and they dropped 5 spots. Tennessee hasn't even been in the game the last 2 weeks. Got smoked by Georgia, blown to smithereens by Missouri. Yet they're at 21. I just don't understand it. I just don't understand it. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But don't tell me there ain't no SEC bias. Don't say that. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. So clearly, and we all know why they did it. We all know why. Because if Alabama happens to beat Georgia, they want to be able to put Alabama and Georgia in the college football playoff, and they need another ranked team to be able to do that. I mean, it's clear as day. It's clear as day. Nobody can even deny it. It's clear as day. So, oh well. Oh well. And then we got, SEC owns college football. ESPN does. So you may be right. You might be right. It's absolutely insane. But let's move on. Let's pick some of these pro games. Now, again, you don't have to tell me which game. I'm going to do every game. And we're going to pick it by the point spread. I want you guys to tell me who you think is going to win. I'll give you the spread. We'll do it all. So let's figure it out here. Steelers versus Bengals. I haven't picked against the Steelers all year, and I am going to pick against the Steelers on Sunday. I'm picking the Bengals +2 at home. I want Baby Hands got to prove it to me. Baby Hands Pickett's got to prove it to me. I'm done with him. So he's going to have to prove it to me. Chiefs versus Raiders. I think the Chiefs are going to win the football game, but the spread is +9. I think the Raiders are going to cover. I'm taking the Raiders +9, but I think the Chiefs will absolutely win. But the Raiders are going to cover. Then the Saints versus Falcons. I'm going to take the Falcons +2 at home. I don't believe in the Saints. Derek Carr's banged up. We'll see if 30 for 30 can get it done. I don't know that he can. But Arthur Smith, I don't know. You talk about bad head coaching. Man, Ritter's back. So, y'all know how I feel about Ritter. I don't think Ritter can play. But I'm going to take the Falcons anyway, man. Panthers at Titans. The Titans -1.5. If they can't beat the Panthers, then Vrabel deserves to be fired right after the football game. So, Bucks at Colts. Give me the Colts. The Bucks played the 49ers tough, but I think the Colts win this game. The Bucks have had their chance. I think we get turnover Baker showing up. And then one of the worst games of the National Football League this year, the Pats at the Giants. I literally don't care. I'm going to say the Giants. +2, 2.5 at home. Now, here's one of the best games of the weekend. Jags at Texans. Jags at Texans. I like the Jags to win. -1 on the road. They got to win this game, I think, if they're going to try to win this division. So, if they're going to win the division, the Jags got to win. A lot of people like the Texans. I like the Texans. The Texans whip my Steelers. But I'm going to go Jags. So, Browns at Broncos. Who thought this game was going to be good a month ago? Who thought this game would be any good a month ago? The Broncos have figured some stuff out, haven't they? I like the Broncos at home, too. -1.5. I like the Broncos. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, the Rams at Cardinals. I don't think anybody cares. I took the Cardinals +2 at home. Then a good game. Bills against the Eagles. I like the Eagles at home. I'm not convinced that the Bills, the Bills figured it out. No, I'm not convinced of that. Don't the Bills always do this? They have bad game and then they come right back with a great game. Well, they just played a great game, and I don't think the Bills have figured anything out. I think the Eagles are going to get physical with them at the line of scrimmage, and I think they're going to beat the Bills into submission. Josh Allen's going to turn the ball over. Give me the Eagles, man. Give me the Eagles. And Ravens at Chargers. The Ravens -3.5. The Ravens should be ashamed of themselves because once they win this game, that will be the last game coached by Brandon Staley. He will be fired after they lose this weekend to the Ravens. If he isn't fired, then the NFL should look into tanking charges because the Chargers aren't even trying. Because Brandon Staley is the worst head coach I think I've ever heard of. He's terrible. And somebody asked me a question earlier about Jaylen Warren. Yeah, Jaylen Warren is better than Najee Harris. Josh Allen, 4 interceptions. Let's get to the last game real quick, man. Bears at Vikings. Give me the Vikings -3. If the Vikings have any hope of making the playoffs, they got to win this game. Any hope. Let me check in here. Did anything change? I'm checking in on the Jets and the Dolphins. Oh, no, they got 106 yards or 105 yards passing now. He's trying to move the football some. 105 yards passing. But the Dolphins have shut it down. They've shut it down. 27-6. Yeah, the Dolphins got this one. Yeah, the Jets are getting what they deserve, man. The Jets are getting what they deserve. And I don't think that the Jets should fire Saleh. I don't think so, because I don't think it's Saleh's call on who the quarterback was, and not to go get one. I don't think it was his call. So I don't think you fire him. I don't think he's that great of a head coach, don't get me wrong, but I don't think you fire him. So that's just me. My man Golf Hawk asked a question. Why is Del Rio gone and Riverboat Ron still the head coach. Magic needs to step up and make a decision. Well, first off, Magic is a minority, about as minority of an owner as it gets. He's the face, but he ain't no decision maker. That would be number one. Number two, I don't know why Ron Rivera is still the head coach. I have no answers. I have no answers. Ron Rivera should not be the head coach. If anything, I like the take that they had, Stephen A. had this morning. Get rid of Rivera. Give Eric Bieniemy the opportunity to be the head coach and see if he can do it. And maybe you elevate him to being the head coach. Give him an opportunity with 7 games to go. But they didn't do that. They're keeping him. I don't understand it. Seems stupid to me, but whatever. Whatever. Saleh is a good head coach in your opinion. I don't know if he's good, but I don't think he's the problem. But he'll lose the locker room if they don't go get a competent backup next year. Because they'll start blaming, why are we doing this? What they may be doing that now. The defense is probably so pissed that they're like, what are we doing? What are we doing? So I don't know. 49ers are good, man. The 49ers are good. So as a reminder, man, anybody that's on TikTok, if you're not following, please give me a follow. And then click on the YouTube link in my bio and come on over and subscribe to Big B Sports Talk over on YouTube. And if you're on YouTube and you're not subscribing, please give me a subscribe. Come subscribe. Help us out. Broncos win again this week. Yes. Hello. Have a great day. You do too. Does Louisville make it to the playoff if they win out? No. Louisville can't lose to Pitt and then turn around and make the playoff. That's not happening. Too many teams with 1 losses, and their loss is so much better than that. Louisville's not getting close to the college football playoff. Not even close. But it will be interesting. I'll be very, very interested to see what happens this weekend. I think Michigan wins. I think Michigan beats Ohio State. And if Ohio State's out, aren't they out altogether? Like if they lose, their resume isn't going to hold up to other people. We do know that, right? Unless a whole bunch of teams start losing and people have 2 losses. But like their resume isn't going to hold up to a 1-loss Georgia or Alabama or Texas. It's not going to hold up to that. It's just not. Their best win is a offensively challenged Penn State. We don't think Penn State's very good, do we? I know I don't. And I'm guessing you guys don't either. You don't think Penn State's very good. But Michigan is definitely going to win the game. Michigan is going to win that football game. More physical team, they're going to win. They're going to win. So, man, we are going to shut this one down early today, people. It's Thanksgiving. We're all doing our thing. We will be back live on Monday, rip, roaring, and ready to go. There's a lot of football on today. There's college basketball on today. It is just, it's like a sports smorgasbord today. It is a sports smorgasbord today. So let's get after it. Everybody, y'all have a good weekend, man. Be safe out there. Watch all the football you can watch. Eat all the leftovers you can eat. Everybody take care of yourself. Do me a favor. Come back Monday and bring a friend. Come back on Monday and bring a friend. Big B Daily Show, 4 p.m. Central Time. Monday through Friday, live on TikTok, live on YouTube. So wherever you're at, you guys have a great one. I will talk to you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend and aloha.